Another big welcome to a guest being on. This is for the second time. I'm Stephen Carlberg. Welcome to the Non-League Radio Show.
Hello, Stephen. Thanks for having me again.
Not a problem. Well, people that maybe didn't listen to the last interview, or it's been a long time ago, not too long ago. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first, then we'll get on to Burgess Hill.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm 41 now, and I've been in coaching for a number of years, specifically with the youth team, and then I stepped up to the first team at Lancing, and now we've moved on to Burgess Hill.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that straight away. What instigated the move from Lancing to Burgess Hill?
There's a number of things, really. I think the idea of a bigger budget, taking on sort of more responsibility, going on to, progress our careers a little bit further. I don't think the budget wasn't there at Lancing. We had a great time. Don't get me wrong. To leave them in the highest position they've ever finished was a great achievement. But I think we wanted to take that next step up, and taking over Burgess Hill, in our eyes, probably was the next step. And since we've joined, we've thoroughly enjoyed our time there. So very grateful for the chairman for putting his trust in us, and we hope to reward him come April next year with I'd ideally like to go up, make the playoffs, but each game as it comes, as they say.
Yeah, and I'm saying Dean's the manager, so I'm guessing there was a few years moved across. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so me, Dean, Will, and Ross all moved with him, all moved over there. We did take a few players with us, ones that had seen us over the line at Lancing, that we trusted, knew our style, our formation, and players that we felt could lift Burgess Hill into sort of another level, which they have showed that they have done. So there was a little bit of who do we take from Lancing, and I think we took some good players with us, those that want to progress further, and they have shown that. So it wasn't a mass exodus, I must admit, but whenever you go to another team, there are players that you trust, and they've integrated very well. So very pleased with that and what we did.
Well, I'm not going to put you on the spot with the history and everything, so I'm going to read a little bit out straight from Wikipedia so people can listen. So Burgess Hill Town Football Club, founded in 1882 as Burgess Hill. Nicknames the Hillians, if that's still correct. This is from Wikipedia,
correct.
So don't shoot us down, everyone. Play at Leylands Park, which we will talk about in a minute. 2,408 seated. Chairman Vince Alfieri, if I pronounced that correct.
Yeah.
Dean Cox, manager. The league, which I always pronounce this, Isthmian League Southeast Division.
Correct.
I've said it correct. Good that. And
it's only taken me about 6 months to say it properly. So yeah, it's not good.
And,
but it's Isthmian. I kept calling it, but it's Isthmian.
Isthmian. I'm saying it wrong now after I've said it right, so I won't say it anymore. The website, guys, www.bhtfc.co.uk, and there's links on there to everything else, the teams, if you want to get involved with the club, etc., etc. And I think there's an under 18s, which we'll get onto in a minute. So you told a little bit about yourself. I just want talk a little bit about Dean, for people who maybe don't know about Dean and the other coaches are involved at the club.
Yeah, so obviously Dean, ex-Brighton, ex-Leyton Orient, Eastbourne and Worthing player, my best mate. So we wanted to take over a team. Lancing came calling, we did. We've got Ross, who's our goalkeeper coach. Great guy, knows his stuff. Very authoritative, he takes the goalkeepers every session and does a fantastic job. Probably the best in the business, I think. I love working with him. And then you've got Will Hendon, who's the assistant manager. On the grass, absolutely fantastic with his coaching. Absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly good guy. And then we've got our physio, Elise, who joined us from Worthing in the summer. She's great at what she does. The lads love her. They integrate well. She keeps us up to date with who's fit, who shouldn't be playing, who's a little bit tired, perhaps, that just need maybe resting. But the four of us work closely together. We text every day. We talk every day. We got the same routines. So, under the leadership of Dean, it's working very, very well, I feel.
Yes. I was going to now. I'm looking at the website as I speak again. I'll give that out again. bhtfc.co.uk. The teams, you've got the first team and then under 18s. Is that all the teams, or have you got juniors locally?
Yeah, we have got juniors. So I believe the juniors start from reception year. They go up to the 18s, and then the 18s transition into the first team. They do the stopper squad as well, which is specifically focused on the goalkeepers at a young age going up. We actually went down, must have been a month or so ago, to go and see them all. We watched some of the reception years having a kickabout. Then we watched the stopper squad. And it's great to see. I think there must be well over 500 youth players registered throughout. And then you've got the 18s who must have, 20 plus players. And then into the first team. So it's great to see that they've got, from such a young age, at 4 or 5 years old, their vision is focused on breaking into the first team. So that they've got something to look forward to. The youth coaches there are fantastic. They're good with them. Whatever age group, they undertake their jobs very well. And it is all voluntary as well. So they give up their time, come rain or shine. So it's a huge credit to them in that respect, as well as progressing and seeing their children and other children taking the next step up in football. So the big hats off to all involved with the youth team there.
Yeah, and I can see there may be others, but on the section I'm looking at, there's a 16 plus ladies team, Athletico Burgess Hill, which is great.
There is, yeah.
Everyone's getting involved, which is excellent.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
So you're training through the week. How many nights a week do you train? Is it 2 nights and then a game on a week? Or if you're playing 2 matches a week, I'm guessing it's hard to, like, you're playing midweek and the Saturday, it'd be difficult to train twice a week.
It is, yeah. I mean, we train every Tuesday, every Thursday. We've got use of a local academy. We have been training on behind the ground. There's a couple of football pitches which we make use of. We have trained on our pitch as well, which is good for getting the familiarity of playing on grass, because we were used to 4G at Lancing. But we've got a lot of Tuesday games coming up, and we've had a lot of Tuesday games. So the games played on Tuesday has actually outweighed the training on a Tuesday. It's wet now. The grass is boggy, so it's making that transition over to the local academy and using their 4G surface, which is good because it's still within Burgess Hill, so you're keeping it local. But I think there's nothing better than training on your own pitch, but in order to save the pitch for games, because the 18s use it, it's important to find somewhere local that you can pitch up, you can train, it's familiar to everyone, and then just take that onto the football pitch on a Saturday or a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I was just trying to quickly find out what step it is that the Southeast is at. I might put you on the spot, yeah. What step? I
think it's step 5. It is, yeah. That's it. Yeah. So you've got the National League South, Isthmian, Prem, and then the Isthmian League, and then it goes down to county league level.
Yeah. So I want to touch a little bit on the facilities you've got at the ground, from shops to bar, a function room I can see for hire and things like that, to the stands and the stadium itself.
Yeah, we've got we've got a great clubhouse. There's sort of two rooms in there. You've got the main bar that's got all the TVs on for the Sky Sports for the football, and then you can go through. There's a function room. It's got a pool table. I believe we're getting the dartboard put back up as well. There's a little bar in there. So to hire that, I think is good. I think you do get parties from outside the local area as well. So that's good that we're being able to host sort of out of area people. Changing rooms are great. Not so well if you're visiting, must admit, but that's all part of it. But you know what it's like in there. There's it's small, it's cramped. It's all part of the intimidation to try and go 1-0 up before you've even entered the pitch. But the chairman and Tina, his wife, who came in, they transformed the bar. They've made it really homely, comfy seats, high top tables. It's a good environment, and it's not just open on match days. You can go in, I believe, every day of the week. You can have a drink, you can have a coffee, because you've got other pitches out the back as well. It's right near Leylands Park, so you've got a lot of dog walkers and a lot of people that like to do the country trail down there. So for that aspect, to have the club where it is, with the facilities they've got, we should be striving to be up a few leagues. And there's the newly named John Buck Sweet. I think he's been involved 75 years in football. So he's got his own little suite. There's a couple of stands there, and it's an all round nice facility. Outdoor bars. So in the summer, you get the full feel of it. But I think you could. There's always room for minor improvements, but at the moment, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the league you're playing in. Can you tell us a little about some of the teams you're playing against? I think you said 8th at the minute, if that's correct. But I'm looking at the website. I'm just double checking to get that advert off. Because Wikipedia said 16th, but this is must be an update.
It was an FA Cup game last night.
Yeah, so...
Was that for the 18th? Yeah.
Yeah, so...
there's a...
He played. I'm guessing it's 8th in the league. Looking at this league table.
Yeah, we're 8th in the league. We played Saturday away at Ashford. Missed opportunity to jump up a few places, but we do have games in hand, which we should get played soon. But we're doing all right. Can't grumble, can't complain really. We're putting up a good fight week in, week out. Got a good, strong core of players. But there's teams in and around us. I think everyone's beatable. And then you've got there's probably 5 really strong teams that will be there and thereabouts, and we just hope that we're one of them.
Yeah, I mean it's close at the minute. I know it's early days. But I think three Bridges are 23 points from 10 games, lost 1. But then the rest of the teams, it's you're talking 3 or 4 points between nearly 10 spaces. So it is quite close.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you look at 3 Bridges; they've got an awful lot of points straight away. And then you've got the likes of Ramsgate. I don't think they've played that many games. Cray haven't played that many games. The teams that are in the FA Cup at the moment, they've got games in hand. So that table could get flipped upside down pretty quickly. But we just take each day as it comes. Don't look too much at the league. Know your opponent, who you're playing. Say you could go on and do 2 or 3 wins in a row and be straight back up there. So it's important to keep the momentum going and not look too far ahead or notice who's in and around. But we do have our eye on every single team, and we do our homework, so we know what to expect when we're playing them. But everyone is beatable. That's the good thing about it.
And I'm guessing from looking at this, one team automatic, and then it's a playoff from the next four. Is that a playoff for promotion, or a playoff to play? Not to play someone getting relegated from the league above.
No, it's a playoff to go up, I believe. Yeah. If I remember correctly from last season, one goes up, and then the playoff to go up, because Whitehawk went up last year via the playoffs, and then there is a playoff to go down as well. So Burgess Hill drew 0-0 on the last day of the season to avoid that, and it was Haywards Heath that had a playoff, and they went down. It may have changed, but we're only focusing on upwards in the table.
Yeah, definitely.
So we know what we need to do to make the playoffs and potentially go up.
And touched on before, a lot of people doing like getting involved for nothing. You must, with all non-league clubs, you've got a lot of non-playing staff who get involved with the club. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out? I know you can't name everyone, but there must be a few people who do a lot of work. You mentioned two before with the bar, and there's got to be hundreds, really, I'm guessing.
There's loads, yeah. I mean, you've got Gail, who does the youth team, and she helps look after us and arrange the mascots. Always telling us what food we've got in the evening. So I'm in contact with her. You've got John Goss, who does everything pretty much around the club. He's Mr. Burgess Hill. John Buck, the chairman, Vince, and his wife, Tina. You've got on the website, you've got Colin, you've got Cobbo, there is too many to mention. I could have written them down on at least 4 pieces of A4 paper, but there are people that we see all the time. There are people that we don't necessarily see every single game, but we know who they are. But I don't think a club can function sort of lower down in the leagues without volunteers, those that make it happen. So it's a big mass shout out to all the volunteers, and a thank you for everything that they do.
And with the volunteers, you've also got your supporters, your fans. What sort of fans, like what I'm saying, what sort of numbers do you get in on a weekday and a weekend?
I think the average is probably, I would say 300, maybe a little bit more. Depends sort of the fixture. We are hampered by if Brighton are at home, because they're only down the road. Crawley are up the road, and even Worthing are up the road. So if you've got all three of those at home, you may lose a few, but we get a good following away from home and a really good following at home. Every club has a big core of fans. They cheer, they shout, they sing. It makes for a really good atmosphere, and it does lift the boys. It's a cliche, the 12th man, but it does lift the boys on a game day, knowing that win, lose or draw, they are behind them. So I would say an average 300. I don't keep count necessarily, but it's nice from our dugout to look out, and you've got the railings covered with people. So it's a good environment to be around, and I think they enjoy coming, which is what we like. And hopefully we can continue to play good football and get more in.
Yeah, and weather permitting, this weekend you play the team directly above you in the league.
Chichester, yeah.
Yeah. So you win that, you could, like you say, you can propel yourself up nearly into the playoff spot straight away, depending on other results and teams playing. But that's how close it is. Yeah. And if people want to check the league out, if you just search for the league, this Isthmian Southeast Division, you'll see.
You'll get there in the end.
I will. It's just too hard for a Geordie to say that word. And it's very, very close. Many thanks again, Stephen. Oh, sorry, go on, carry on. I was going to say.
Oh no, I was going to say, when you say it's close, it is the case of you win 2 and a couple above you lose 2, and then it's like a sands clock. It will just flip over, off. You're there, but it's maintaining that position, and winning does breed confidence. And if you've got enough confidence to get through 90 minutes and take home 3 points, I think it's a job well done.
Great stuff. And people, again, please check out the website, www.bhtfc.co.uk, and all the links is on there. All the squads is on there, hire and function rooms, the ladies teams, the under 18s, everything. So go and check it out. And again, thanks for coming on for a second time on the show. There may be a third and a fourth time, hopefully not. Maybe I speak to you in a year's time and you even be promoted.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I'll give you a ring come April once we're lifting that trophy, shall I?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Cool. No, thank you very much, Stephen. I enjoyed it. Thanks again. Cheers, everyone.